All right, everybody. Merry Christmas. If you are listening
Merry
to us
Christmas.
on Christmas Eve, God bless you.
Yes.
I'm telling you what, I'm Mike Condavo. He's Tim Hooper, and this is Trust Factor, where we unpack high trust or high touch systems along with high tech systems and multiply it all by high trust, because we think that is the winning formula in real estate.
Yeah.
So Tim,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. What is the Hooper family traditions for Christmas?
Oh man, Hooper family traditions. Well, we're with family, so we're always usually with my wife's side of the family on Christmas, and just a couple years we've broken that tradition and done something different. But wife's side of the family, cousins do these stockings on Christmas Eve, open those together. We usually do a play. Everybody takes part in the play, reenacting that journey towards Bethlehem, and then we open up gifts, usually right after breakfast, orange rolls, and then a big dinner later in the day. So
Nice.
Get everybody playing their Tinker Toys before. Do they even do Tinker Toys anymore?
I don't think so, but they should bring them back. You know,
Yeah,
they definitely should bring back.
They really should.
Toys.
What's your tradition, Mike?
Yeah, so today's my big day. So I am Sicilian, and so we do we have my wife's family over for like a Christmas brunch, and we do Christmas.
Beautiful.
With that, and then we immediately kind of start to transition where I start putting out the antipasta, and my wife will get the kids and they'll start hand making the pasta that we're going to have with the dinner that night. And then we practice the Feast of the Seven Fishes. So my son and I both love to cook, and I mean, not to brag, I feel like I'm pretty good at it. And he's excellent at it. And so basically we'll do a simple fish dish, like just throw out a shrimp cocktail, and then I'll do 3 fish dishes and he'll do 3 fish dishes. And it's things like like mussels and calamari, a seared Chilean sea bass with like a ceviche type topping, all this kind of stuff that we'll kind of do. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's chaotic as all get out. Like it is so chaotic. And then Christmas Day is actually a little bit more relaxed. Like we'll enjoy with the family. Of course, we'll go to church, and then go to my parents' house that night, and that's pretty much it. But
it's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and it's a big day for us because Christmas Eve is when I asked my wife to marry me in 1996.
Wow.
I don't know, a long time ago. Yeah,
crazy.
So, yeah.
See, I thought I knew you pretty well, and that's what you guys. This whole podcast is a cover for Mike and I to hang out.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. I think those are the best podcasts, though. Like when the two people are just having like genuine conversation, that people want to be a part of that conversation.
Yeah, speaking of, what's your tradition? Drop it in.
Yeah,
drop it in the comments. I'll tell you one fun one we did. Actually, did it 2 years in a row. We did a Seder meal.
Oh, cool.
at Christmas time, or not a Seder meal. It was basically a Jewish type meal at the holiday, and so some of our friends are like Messianic Jews, and so like we were like, man, that's so we got into that. So that's been pretty cool. Of course, then we're big Chosen fans, so they tie all that really beautifully together. So it's a good time just to reflect on what one person's life vision can do to, like, change the whole calendar system. Honestly, change a lot of things in the world and our lives, and yeah. So talk about vision and the power of that, Mike.
Well, I think let's start off with here. I mean, let's acknowledge where most people in the real estate space are right now. Like, you're probably exhausted. It's been a tough 3 years. Like, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And it's kind of weird. It's different than what happened in 08, 09, and 2000, because prices are going up, right? And I'm not sitting down with a seller and telling them that, hey, we can only sell this place for $75,000 less than what you owe. I'm not having those kind of conversations, but the number of transactions is way low. And it's not been easy, right? And we were, especially since the industry was used to such a torrid pace, and then it just kind of like put the brakes on.
Yep.
And it's okay to be exhausted. And you know what?
Mm.
It's okay to take a break right now. A small break, but take a break.
Yeah.
Get rejuvenated, and then kind of get reconnected to what the purpose of this is. Because I honestly believe, Tim, and you have a great little quote about this. I don't know if you want to share it now or not, but I honestly believe that people get into the real estate business and they look for these promises, the promises of the freedom of unlimited or having your own schedule, not being your own boss, the unlimited earning potential, the impact you can have on other people, and then they want to do it their way. They want to have some sort of autonomy. And I've been diving into this idea of freedom versus autonomy, and like, what are the difference between freedom and autonomy?
Wow.
And freedom is from something. Like, I got to break free from something, right? And autonomy is moving towards something. And so
that's powerful. Say it one more time. Freedom
is like freedom from
breaking
something.
from something.
Yeah. Right. Like,
autonomy is moving towards something.
And we talk about Shawshank, I know, a lot. Andy had to crawl through the crappy pipe. He had to get free from the prison. Sometimes we got to get free from whatever imprisons us, whether it's allowing the business maybe to control our life a little too much, or maybe it's some limiting beliefs, whatever it could be. And then we got to move towards something. Andy then got free from prison and moved towards Zihuatanejo, right? Like, defining what that Zihuatanejo is for you is kind of what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
So that you can start to align everything around it and get moving in that direction. So you can get busy living.
Right.
Wow. That's what it is.
Dude, I believe most agents, most professionals, mortgage bankers, title professionals. I don't think it's so much that we're overworked or exhausted because we're overworked. I believe we're exhausted because we're vision depleted. When people say, Tim, you're so busy, like you travel all the time, you're so busy. I'm not. Mike, I'm not. Everywhere I am, I chose to be. Everywhere I am, I chose to be. And when I'm there, I'm fully present. When I'm there, it's like I'm enjoying the experience. And so, some people look at that and I see some agents, again, they fall into this trap of I gotta do instead of I gotta be first. I gotta be. And vision, in my opinion, and you tell me, Mike, what you think about this, is vision is getting the being right, that who I am, before the doing right and what I do. And I believe that oftentimes we get the cart before the horse, and that's when we feel busy, because there's no alignment. We can't connect the dots of what I'm doing right now to like who I am, who I'm becoming in the work. It's why after a speaking engagement, man, whether I feel like I did great or bombed out, my vision is becoming that human-centric, connective, energized speaker. Like, it's on my vision board of like person, like speaking. And when I think about speaking, it's not about like breaking down technical data and breaking up. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're the best AI presenter." I'm like, because I actually hate technology. I use technology for human connection, but it's all back to the vision of human connective and energized speaker that brings the best out of people. And so when I'm believing that, then I stand up and I always check in with that, and it just guides everything I do. So, back to your point of vision, it's probably the single most powerful thing, I believe, in your real estate business.
And it's funny because every single time, so I present on this topic quite a bit, and every single time you kind of you almost have to trick people into thinking about their vision, because once they start thinking about their vision or like defining their why, like some people, it's so much work for them that they just glaze over and they just avoid it and ignore it and whatever else. And what I heard you just say is so powerful, because when you are clear about who you are, you then can define a vision that's authentic to you. Because
Mm,
one of the reasons why I think people struggle with vision is because they set the vision based off other people's expectations for them,
yeah.
right? So like
Mm,
this is what is next for me to do in my career. This is what's next for me. This is what my spouse expects from me. This is what I should want versus this is what I do want.
mm,
And quite honestly, it's never going to be powerful enough if it's not authentic to who you are.
mm,
And so now when you get that clarity on who you are and what you truly want and the life you want to create, now you know what to say yes to, because instead of saying yes to everything else, you're selective. You get to choose, does this
so
yes
good.
take me closer to the life I want to
So
create?
good. Yeah. Yeah.
Because every single time you say yes, you're saying no to something else.
Hmm.
There's no yes that doesn't have an unintended no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're saying
Wow.
yes to every speaking gig out there because you just wanted to be a speaker, well then you might be saying no to watching your kids grow up or having a quality marriage or
Hmm.
but this is where I admire you so much, because you have figured out how to make sure that your yes means something. You can be fully present, and then you have this incredible family life. You're an incredible father, an incredible husband, and
Hmm.
and this is how you create both
Yeah.
and in real
Yeah.
estate we get stuck in this either or world. Like I can be successful, but if I'm successful, I'm not going to be a great father, I'm not going to be a great husband, I'm not going to be a great parent, whatever. And it doesn't have to be either or. It can be both and, but the
Yeah.
only way for it to be both and is to have tremendous amount of clarity.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. You talked about like tricking us into thinking about vision. It's that's actually pretty scientific. Did you know your brain gives 50%? Okay, take your brain, cut it in half. Half of your brain
Tim's
is
pointing
used
to his
up,
Tim's
is
pointing to his
used
eyes
up,
right now.
is used up for vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're listening, folks, I was pointing to my eyes. Um, sometimes I assume, Mike, that they're watching on YouTube.
Well, they
But
should be watching on YouTube or Spotify, either one.
guys, 50% of our brain is like focused and used on our vision. That's why it's good. And just a quick little tech hack. Take every 20 minutes, do the 20 20 20. You know what I mean? Like every 20 minutes on the screen, look up for 20 seconds, right? And take a break for 20 seconds. And then I think there you make sure you're blinking, there's a 20 20 20 in there somewhere. But anyway, every 20 minutes, take a break from the screen, but you're closing your eyes. When people get overwhelmed, and close your eyes. At night while you hopefully reaching REM and your eyes are closed, right? Because your brain's going to other places. But during the day, like your vision 50%. And so when you think about tricking it, your brain automatically does vision. Um, but Mike, I get up and do this whole session on. It's like a whole day if a brokerage wants it or if a mortgage company wants it, it's a whole day. But sometimes they come in, they're like, can you do that in like 2 hours? So we do it in about 2 hours. But it's all about creating an energizing life vision. I think a lot of agents, when you think vision, we go back to like a vision board, or maybe you did a vision board session with somebody and you took, magazines and you snip stuff out and you put them on a board and you took the board home, or maybe all your girlfriends did or all your guy friends. I feel like girlfriends do it better than the guy friends do it. But anyway, for whatever reason, it's just like, oh, taking a pair of scissors and snipping out something and put it on a board. It's like, it's just a little awkward for me, Tim. And I'm like, okay, so I've led those, I've done them, but the challenge is most people chalk up a vision board to just an experience they did on Pinterest, and then snap a picture, or it goes in your closet when you get home. It just sits there, and I'm like, I challenge that in the session. I'm like, number one, does your vision actually have a framework to it?
Mm.
So I give. So when you say you're speaker and a great dad, it's like I just refuse to. I don't do too many trips where it's just me. Like for instance, in January, I got 5 engagements that'll put me on a plane, and I've got my companion pass, and every one of the kids and my wife they got to pick which destination. My wife picked Connecticut because she wants to go up there. I think like that New Heart show with like the snow on the in roof, you know. So in January, she's gonna go to the frozen tundra of Connecticut with me. But then we're going to Florida, and so my boys are going down there because their cousins are down there, so they get to pick. But it's because on the vision board, Mike, I've got 4 quadrants on my vision board. 4 quadrants. Stephen Covey says the mind or the body has a need to live. Okay, need to live, and then the mind has a need to learn. And then your heart has a need to love, and your spirit has the need to leave a legacy. And so if you just think about that in a quadrant, I do a whole session on this, but if you think about that in a quadrant, and then your pictures, because I found a lot of people's pictures, if you put all the pictures you snipped out of the magazine, they'd fit up in that like body category. It's the new car, it's the house, it's everything that happens. It's the workout routine, it's the lifting weights, it's the eating clean. That's all body. But if you look at the heart, like pictures of your kids, your spouse, your whatever. Then you look at your mind, you're like, I want to learn how to fly. I want to learn another language. I want to go back to school, Tim. I want to graduate. I want to get my master's degree. I want to read more books. I want to be in Buffini group. It's mind. And then legacy, like the dash. This is like at my funeral, what would they say? It's like I have like giving on there. Like last night at the restaurant, like it's the holiday season. We lean into like geeking out, and the kids got to pick. I was like, you know, you guys pick. What are we leaving the server? You know, so it's just it's alignment, right? And it's abundance. And so anyway, so for me, when it comes to vision, it's not just about taking and saying, I want to do this thing. I want to make all this money from real estate. I want to have this car, this type of freedom. It's actually what you said is autonomy, going towards something.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. It's the perfect setup. So, but man, you're coaching agents through vision all the time. Like, where do you see maybe some gaps? Because I see gaps that's more unholistic, right? Vision, but building a holistic life vision for me that's truly what fills us and energizes us. But where are some gaps, Mike, you see?
Well, this is going to play in really well. So our next episode is going to help you it'll be New Year's Eve, and it'll help you kind of get your business plan in a way that you're working towards this year. But I think where the gap tends to end up being is that number one, people start to think about vision and they start to like just automatically start thinking about, well, how would I ever do this? Or how much is this going to cost? And then they put up all these barriers and these walls versus just saying, well, what if I did do this? And just start asking that question. Ask the what if question. When you set your aspirational life vision, right? The word aspire comes from I think it was Greek, it might've been Latin, but the root word was to breathe. Like you want it. Eric Thomas talks about when you want it as bad as you want to breathe, right? So the aspirational life that you want to create, when you get that ideal life that you want to create, it should not be tied to a date. It should not, this is not about how, this is not about by when or how much, just dream, right? Just dream and then think about, man, well, what if this happens? Like, you know, start to unpack what that really looks like. And then we can start thinking about, because people tend to underestimate what they can get done in a decade and overestimate what they can get done in a year. Well, let's get down to this, like, okay, well, what really needs to happen in the next 3 years? Because that's kind of the sweet spot, right? People can get pretty close to what can happen in 3 years. What really needs to happen in the next 3 years for me to feel like I'm successfully on my way to creating that aspirational life? And when you can do that, and Tim, I actually think that AI here is an incredible tool to help you unpack this. And I love using AI as a collaborator, having it ask me questions, helping me kind of like uncover things, whatever else. Even you just mentioned the vision board, and I kind of stumbled upon this on accident when I was kind of messing around with one of my friends. But I'm a big guy, and I was like, well, what would it look like? I took a picture of me on the beach and said, what would it look like if I was in shape, right? So like I came up with like this picture here of like what it looks like if I was healthy and in shape. And you could use AI to literally create this vision board of you doing the thing, right? Like I want to own this house in Italy,
man.
And you can really just create these images, and now your vision board is not things you cut out of a magazine, but it's like putting you in these spots and in these positions so that you can really visualize what it looks like. You're right. And I just think there's a lot of opportunity there to use AI to make vision planning even stronger.
Yeah. So we really quickly have to talk about, because you just threw that picture up, and so I get real deep on this in the workshop. I'll just touch on it very briefly. You talk about high tech. That was pretty high tech, right? Everybody, that was high tech. Drop in the comments. That Mike, that's totally, man. That six pack is beautiful, right? That was pretty high tech. Where's the high touch with your vision? It's not taking your vision board and sticking. And by the way, I'm a firm believer in creating an actual vision board, because the high touch that you need for your vision is you need to touch it, meaning you need to see it. You need to touch and feel that vision. And I have stories I could tell, won't share on the podcast, but like my wife's life is changed from doing a vision board at a machine company I worked for. Came out for this employee night. My boss was a firm believer in vision, and we put a vision board together. And I found out things about her that night that I didn't even know, because she's putting a vision board together. She starts manifesting that into her life. And it's not any of this woo, whatever. It is literally, you put the pictures and you're looking, you tie touch with them. Why? Because you're opening your mind. Your mind has what's called a RAS filter, and it filters out so much minutia. Like if your RAS filter what didn't exist, you would be in an insane asylum, because there's too much stimuli in the world. So your RAS filter stays shut to things that you should not pay attention to. And so your beliefs actually can have that shut as well. It's why, people say, well, homeless, they should just pick themselves up off the street. Like, I live in a nice ritzy house. Like, you're going into $2 million homes, for $5 million homes, selling them. You're accustomed. You know how to be in that space. But some people don't know how to be in that space. They've never been there. So what a vision is for you is it's taking that RAS filter and starting to prop it open to believe. It's why when you buy a new car, you see that car everywhere, because you just literally took that car through the RAS filter and parked it in your brain, and that's your car now. And then you see it everywhere. You're like, wow, everyone has this car. No, it's just because your brain, your eyes, your vision is now picking up on it, is now seeing it, what already was there. So right now, Mike, when you said, oh, I can't do that because it's too expensive, actually, it's already right there. Your belief, your vision is everything about your belief system. And by the way, where does high trust play into all of this? I think all of us have the feeling of imposter syndrome. If you're a new agent, you're getting into this, imposter syndrome's real. But if you have gone to the future through vision and said, I believe by faith this is going to happen. This is going to be my reality, because I'm going to work just like E.T. said. I'm going to, more than air, I want this. I aspire for this. It's going to change my family. This is going to change my life. I'm going to be able to bless the world. I'm going to leave a legacy. I'm going to be able to love more. I'm going to learn. I'm going to live. When you go to the future and define that, you put it down. Then when you're back in the present feeling like an imposter, your mind picks up on, no, you're not. You're going towards what you said you're going to be. So people say, fake it till you make it. I do not subscribe to that. I do not fake it till I make it. I start working today like the person who's on that vision board. Say, and then you're not incongruent. That's where high trust plays in this. You know why most people fail at high stakes negotiation, Mike?
Tell me.
They don't trust themselves. They go through all the scripting, they go through all the stuff, and they go through all, you know what they lack? Conviction that they're actually worth that commission, conviction that they're actually worth. And by the way, you said this in a past episode, and guys, you got to go check this one out. You said that your work does not just exist around that transaction. Your work, you're working for that person for the next 7 years. You're working for that person. So what does a vision give you? It gives you trust in the value you bring. It allows you to trust yourself. So high tech, go get the picture of yourself on the beach doing yoga. High touch, look at your vision every single day. High trust, you're going to believe that that's the person you're becoming.
And so just like we've mentioned before too, like we define trust as our core value, as a belief in our reliability, intention, ability, and strength, right? So what you just mentioned there is when I have that belief in my reliability, ability, intention, and strength, means I'm great and I'm achieving that eventual goal when I take action in the moment. It's about having greatness in the moment, right? And when you have vision, that's when you can start to just have the right intention to get you to where you want to go, and you can have greatness in the moment.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Great episode today, Tim.
Powerful.
I'm excited about the next one too. So
business planning, guys.
We just took you through an idea of this aspirational life and then boiling it down to this 3 years. Now we're going to get into maybe a little bit different take on the annual plan than what you might be thinking, and then how to actually execute on a regular basis. And by the way, there's some good tech tools out there for that too. So stay tuned. We'll be back. And
I was gonna say, why did you have to say that? And I can't wait till next week. A different take on business planning, guys. Tune in. Share this with your team. Subscribe to the podcast, Mike. I love doing this with you, man.
I love it too. Merry Christmas, everybody.